Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pixpay, and today we will continue with Kingdom Come Deliverance, and this time we will do the DLC Band of Bastards. So this is the last two of DLC that we already done. And to start this quest, we need to talk to Sardazik now.
God be with you, Henry. Congratulations on winning the tournament. I'm proud of you.
And we have conversation about the danger on the roads.
Father, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
I thought since we drove Toth out of the province, things would be better. I mean that the roads would be safer and so on, and well, that's not entirely the case.
Ah, the naivety of youth. Driving him out of the province was only the start. He left a lot of cutthroats behind, and they'll be sticking to their trade. What's more, as long as there's a war going on, problems like this will keep coming up.
Well, what can we do about it?
Not an awful lot, unfortunately. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pegstein, let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rickwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favor, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable, and I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rickwald?
He's the last baron of the House of Rickwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, that sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so it'll help pass the time. But one thing I can tell you, he seems to have taken inspiration from me. A lot of his men had their own encounters with the executioner too.
All right, I'll go and report to him.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. It's a good base for covering the province. Good luck, Henry. And watch out for yourself.
I will, sir. Thanks.
God be with you.
And let's start the quest of Band of Bastards. Our DLC. Then we need to find this man, Kuno.
Damn.
Sorry, sir.
Huh?
And also, let's see if there another side quest that will be unlocked. but it looks like no other quest that we can do. So let's just go to the camp. And also, by the way, we need a lullaby potion for some side quests. So make sure that you have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief.
Okay.
These here are the Bearman brothers. Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stephan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got around to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh, yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. Well, as I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stephan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Harold.
No problem, Chief.
Okay, let's prove it.
I'll wring your neck, you cur!
Kurwa fix.
Nice.
He didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Okay, we can go immediately to patrol. That's our main objective in this DLC. Or
So,
let's
Kuno,
just talk
can you tell me
about
something about yourself?
this band
Drop the sir.
before we
That
go.
title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
So Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh,
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickval Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
oh, he might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
So Radzig told me the Rickvold family...
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easy.
Oh,
But it's a long and you see... Anyway,
well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
not my old man. He cursed like a tanner's hand. More than once, he threatened to take a whip to our parish priest. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning...
Christ.
Hellish it. My sister and a few weeks... It was a week...
But
Aye. You tell...
what about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking. And in the morning, we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later, word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fella nearly every time he was right. And the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Bearman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, the pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stephan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone?
That dumb one.
Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of, but wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after, but of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stephan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. Well, a man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk.
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Oh, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third Bearman. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough.
Okay, I think let's go to talk to everybody else before we go.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Why do they call you Dangler?
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah, I see. So, he saved you from execution?
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper knight for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck. For amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
But how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end, everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus! How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. When Kuno found me, he says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down, took the rope off me, and someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
Dangler. By the way, his outfit is very interesting. He has rope in there.
Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you.
That's cool. Stephan, Fletching. Oh, we can play dice with him.
Stephan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
I'm curious how you ended up in Kuno's band.
You noticed I don't exactly fit in with this pack of felons and reprobates, huh? Unfortunately, you can't always choose your company, can you?
No, I suppose not. But how did you come to be with them?
Ah, well, I'd love to tell you, but Kuno insisted we keep that between the two of us. And I'm not one to break a confidence.
Oh. But, well, Kuno said it was you who wanted to keep it secret.
Really? Are you sure about that? You must have misunderstood him.
No, I don't think so. At least... Oh, never mind. So, where did you live before? What did you do?
I used to live in a town before. Back there I was doing something very different. Although, now I think of it, maybe it wasn't that different in a way. If you know what I mean.
Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. You don't give anything away, do you?
Me? I'm an open book, lad. Ask me anything you like, and I'll give you an honest answer. Go on.
Maybe another time. My head's starting to spin.
As you wish. Shame, though. There's nothing I enjoy more than conversing.
Can we
Want
play
to try your
dice?
luck? Dice?
Nah, let's cancel that.
Henry!
Let's talk to the others.
Henry, come here. Henry, I want to have a word with you.
Okay, that Jackie will give us a side quest, but before that, I want to talk to
Can you tell me
everybody
something
else.
about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
It's nothing new for me and my brother. We've been fighting for coins since we were old enough to carry swords. Last time we rode with one Lombardian by the name of Collini. All over Bavaria, Austria and that.
What happened? Did you fall out?
Nah, we just wanted to come back to Bohemia. You know how it is. When no one understands a word you say, it ain't worth a damn.
You and Petter seem very close.
As brothers should be, lad.
To tell the truth, I'd never have guessed the two of you came from the same mother.
Oh, we've got the same ma, all right. I ain't got no ma and neither does he. And the same goes for our pa. It's probably Satan himself.
Oh. I'm a bit confused. You're not actually brothers?
We might be. We might not. A band of mercenaries found us in a village when I was still a baby, and better hardly walking. Playing in the dirt together we was. Their leader took a shine to us for some reason. He took us away and raised us up. Raised us with swords for playthings and ale for mother's milk. A few years later, he was killed in Saxony. The band fell apart, but we joined another right away. That's the way it's been ever since, over and over.
So you two never had... well,
A normal life. We ride from one fight to another, risking our necks and killing who they pay us to kill. That's normal for us. Always has been.
Interesting.
Hey, Henry.
They have a lot of interesting story with their life. Ah, the stone. Let's talk to him. Oh no, I can't talk to him. This is Peter.
tell me something about yourself.
Or Peter.
What do you want to know?
How did you and Jan end up with Kuno?
Me and my brother been riding with coinmen since we was little. This was just another mercenary band for us. But Kuno seemed like a decent kind of fellow who'd treat us fair.
Your brother was saying you rode before with some Kalini fella.
He did he? Did he tell you why we finished with him?
Yeah, he said you missed Bohemia.
Ha-ha! Miss Bohemia! That's good! Ha-ha-ha! But it ain't far from the truth. Jan missed any place where he wouldn't have a band of furious Italians looking to skin him alive.
Ah. He did something to anger them.
Oh, aye. While Colini was away, he broke into the trunk where the coin was kept. Took it all and wagered it with a fellow who claimed his bear knew how to dance, and lost it all.
What? The bear really did dance?
Aye. The costliest Chardash we ever watched. We had to get the fuck out of there before Colini came back, and had the two of us dancing, on the end of a rope.
Okay, this is Dangler.
Hey, Henry. I'd like a word with you.
So who's left is only Jackie, right? I'm already talked to Jan,
Henry, I want to have a word with
and
you.
I can talk to Stone.
What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that. Probably about that ring.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bacchus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble. But when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the man who has the ring. So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why does the stone want to see me?
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right, I'll have a word with him.
Okay, the Ring of Bacchus.
Hey, Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure, Henry. What do you want to know?
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
Well, I used to be a baker's hand in Prague, but all the other fellas were always on my back, always swearing at me. Sometimes they even beat me up, took everything I had. To make a bit of coin, I started going to the tavern across the road, entertaining the rich gents with jokes, playing the fool. Sometimes someone would throw me a half-groschen. One time, Kuno turned up there, and I got to talking with him. When I told him all the shit I was getting at the bakery, he offered to take me with him.
I bet you were glad to get out of there.
Yeah, though it's not like they give me much peace here either. It's all,
Jakey, come here. Jakey, go there. Jakey, get that.
Well, surely you can't be any worse off here than in the bakery.
no. Only, at the bakery, the worst I ever got was a beating. It's not like my life was in danger. But here, when those Bearman brothers are drunk, I have to keep well out of sight.
How come they bullied you at the bakery? It's usually the shy ones bullies pick on. That's not exactly you.
Not now, maybe. I learned a thing or two since then.
Oh, come on, you shy? You just said you were playing the fool and telling jokes in the tavern.
All right, I'll tell you the truth. They picked on me because I'm an orphan. The parish priest of St. Apollinaire's in Prague found me as a baby in the church one winter's morning. I spent half my childhood in parish houses and half on the street.
I see. That must have been tough.
It still is tough, I can tell you that.
They all have a different stories.
Tell me, Stoney, got your eye on some nice wench? True, there ain't many redheads in these parts. Remember those three sisters in Colleen? What were they called again? Yeah, and Kutka. One blind, one deaf, and the other dumb. And we could only get the blind one to go for you. Poor lass. Probably took you for an idiot. And you're the only one of us who can read and write proper. You can't blame us for trying to spice up your life a bit. Did you give her a kiss at least? All right. Just asking.
Okay, we need to talk to Stone.
Jakey sent me to you. Something about a ring?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you want me to get it from someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who has it? Jakey?
Mm-mm.
Not Jakey?
You
No?
mean Kuno?
Mm-mm.
Jan?
Jan Bearman?
Mm-mm.
Peter Bearman?
Mm-mm.
I didn't quite... Is it Fletching?
Mm-mm.
Does Dangler have it?
Mm.
Okay, Dangler.
How should I get it?
Jan, what are you doing? Okay, we need to get the ring of Bacchus from Dangler. Where is Dangler?
Joke, you blockhead. I'm asking if you heard this joke.
What joke? You haven't told me it yet.
It's just a turn of phrase, for fuck's sake. If you're gonna tell a joke, you say, have you heard this one?
Which one? How am I supposed to know which joke you mean?
Because when you're talking to a normal person, he'll let you get on with telling the joke.
I'm not stopping you. Get on with it, for fuck's sake.
Jesus. All right, so there was this priest who was always complaining about his teeth to everyone he met. One day, he was sitting in the alehouse, and this innkeeper asked him why he was so glum about it. The priest says, my teeth are hanging loose. I'm afraid they'll all fall out. The innkeeper thinks about it and says, Father, my balls have been hanging loose for more than 30 years, and they haven't fallen out yet.
Damn, what a joke.
Hey, I want the ring of Bacchus. I heard you have it.
So you come and ask me for it. That's a novel approach.
Well, you don't just have to steal it from each other. Why not play for it?
I don't play dice, but we can duel for it.
Okay. Can we...
I don't want to fight you.
And then you'll just have to rob me, like a normal person.
What about that ring? Any second thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking again. We can duel for it.
So actually we can just pickpocket him to get that ring. Or
All right.
we can just
Why not?
duel him.
I'll wager the ring, and you put up some groschen, all right?
Alright.
Sure. I'll wager that.
That'll do it. Well, now it's something worth fighting for, so you better watch out. You'll get what for. Oh, fair fight. Well, I don't like giving it up. But at least I won't get so plastered next time. Just watch how it doesn't get pinched.
I'll do that. Thanks.
Nice, we've got the Ring of Bacchus now. And I will prepare my armor.
I got the ring from Dangler. Yeah, well, I suppose there's not much more either of us can say about it. Yeah, thanks to you too.
Okay, nice. Oh, we've got Silence is Golden and Myth. But I'm already read that. So the Ring of Bacchus is the part of activities, and this is only can we do while we have the Band of Pastors DLC. So we can do that every time. And also it's just between this band. So maybe we can start to patrol now.
Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure. Chief.
We start Pet Blood quest.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, purtling, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye. It reminds me of that day. That day where the two of us fucked Fletch's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bird laugh.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletch is moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Angler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. And it always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh, well how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, and to the victor the spoils. That's how it's always been, but no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched a purse yet.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned groschen back at the camp.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action from close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues and question the survivors, if there are any.
Okay, so this is the burning farm.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre. They weren't even armed. God almighty. Looks like it happened fast. No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals. Kuno will want to know about this.
Okay, we've got a letter. Message for Sradzik. Aganzul. And we have Shield House of Zul. Let's talk to everyone. Maybe they have a clue.
More bread. I could open a bakery.
What are you doing, Jan?
You found anything interesting?
Fuck all. They cleaned him out good and proper. But one fella was still alive.
And what did you do with him?
Don't you worry. I seen plenty of wounded fellas, and he wouldn't have made it. So, I put him out of his misery.
I see. And did he tell you anything?
He mumbled something about some Lord something. Zul, I think.
Zul? I never heard the name.
Me neither. But I don't know too many nobles.
Would you stop doing that?
You think they'll have any use for this stuff?
That's not the point. Robbing the dead isn't right.
That's what you say. I say it's all the fucking same to them. They're dead. And Prague Groshen are worthless in Lombardy. Never mind in the hereafter.
I'm telling you for the last time, stop it.
And I'm telling you for the last time, I see no reason why I should.
You call yourself a Christian, and you're robbing the dead.
They've no use for anything, and I have to eat.
I've seen your camp. It doesn't look to me like you want for anything.
Not now, but a man's got to have something to secure his future.
And what did you take from that corpse?
A wooden spoon and some string.
Oh, great, you can retire right away. I hope it's worth your immortal soul to you.
You're a bit holier than thou, ain't you? But all right, they ain't got nothing worth a damn anyway.
Okay. Good fella. We can talk to Jackie. Oh, but there. Dandelion?
Did the raiders leave any tracks?
Well, they came from the northwest. A horse or two and a few men on foot.
Anything else?
No, nothing.
Okay. Coming from northwest. That's where we come from. Better don't have anything to say.
Damn!
Did you find any tracks?
Some, a horse or two. They rode off through the meadow towards dawn. They were avoiding the road, which is interesting.
Towards dawn?
Meaning towards the east. Apart from the mounted ones, there were some men on foot too. Well weighed down.
Oh, they can't move too fast then.
No. And what's more, they left a trail of blood. One or more of them might be wounded. Either that, or they dragged off some poor bastard from here.
Nice work. Thanks.
Okay. So we can track the raiders. Before that, let's talk to Kuno.
Kuno, your men are robbing the dead.
What did you expect, Henry? Old habits die hard, and most of the lads ain't had an easy life.
Well, try explaining that to Sir Radzig. You're acting in his name here, so he expects you to behave the same as his own people, with honor.
Steady on now, we don't have to drag Radzig into it. I'll have a word with them.
I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that crest. It's the House of Zul. A dangerous lot, God's truth.
House of
I
Zoo.
don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
Okay. So we can track down all the raiders now. Before we report to Radzig. So, according to Stephan, they are going to east. So we need to find the tracks.
Poor creature. Hunted down like game.
Is there any tracks? This is blood.
Looks like they carried away a lot of stuff.
This is garden. Nice. Okay. Oh, new one.
They went this way. Seems they met some resistance at the farm. What a waste. At least I know which way they went.
A lot of blood marks in here.
There they are.
And there are a lot of bandits in there. We can just deal with them, but there are a lot of them.
What's that?
So maybe I want to save in here. And then maybe we can talk to Kuno.
Yeah.
And we can gang on them.
Yeah.
I tracked down those raiders.
You did? Well, nice work. So where are they?
A short way to the east, in a glade in the woods. They're dividing up their loot.
How many of them are there?
I believe it's 10.
About 10 or so.
10? Fuck, I don't like those odds. I'll tell the lads we're gonna deal with them. Nice and quiet.
Okay.
Hey, to me, now!
So we don't need to go alone, or we can if you want, but I don't want that for now.
Listen up! Henry tracked down those bastards who raided the farm. They're dividing up their loot not far from here. So let's pounce on them and give them what for. Move out!
Quiet as the grave, as the stone would say.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one since... Let me see.
At a loss for words, are you?
Stop it, please. Or I'll split my sides laughing.
I feel sorry for the stone. Imagine not being able to insult your enemy's mother.
Ah, big mouth Jakey makes up for it.
I don't know how you managed without me for so long.
Who was it needed their back covered last time?
Jakey.
Jakey.
Fuck you. I don't need minding.
We all cover each other's backs. That's how this band works.
Get used to it.
I've no intention of getting myself killed by a bunch of bandits who pillaged a farm for cabbage.
Well, I don't know. You might get mistaken for a cabbage yourself.
Aye, he's green enough.
I'll cover you, Jakey. Got it?
Thanks a lot, Fletch.
Ooh, they're already. Okay, is everyone safe? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, nice.
I
Everyone's
like that
safe
faint
now.
strike from the left, brother.
Yeah, nice trick. What do you call that?
The secret of the trade, Sonny. But you lost your puff fighting that other fucker, didn't you, brother?
Nah. I was just faking it to confuse him.
Oh, yeah? So how come you were still breathless after, eh? Which do you reckon is better to fight in, brother? High grass or low grass?
I'd say low grass.
Nobody asked you. What do you think, brother?
I don't know. It ain't that important, mate. Now, if your opponent has a loose counter,
You can get hold of it and knock the weapon right out of his hand.
and let him have your blade right into the side.
A greenhorn's mistake.
I keep thinking about that grass, though.
You know what I like best in a skirmish, Jan?
Pray tell, brother.
When there's one last fucker left. We surround him.
Hack him from all sides.
Until he falls in a bloody heap on the ground. I love that.
We ought to wager on who delivers the fatal blow.
A new wager? Fletch will be up for that.
We gotta do something to spice things up. To make it more like a proper war. Maybe if we timed our attacks better.
It'll look more like a battle plan, eh?
When the blood's up,
Aye, plans go to hell in the heat of battle.
everyone's still going to lay into that last fucker with everything they got anyway.
Aye, even if we have to chase him all the way to Olomouc to do it.
All right. Next time, we'll see who delivers the coup de grace.
Shaky can keep an eye on it while he's hiding in the bushes, shitting his brays as usual.
The only place I'll be shitting is in your tent.
I like that feigned strike from the left, brother.
Yeah, nice trick. What do you call that?
Okay,
Secret of
the
trade,
dialogue
sonny.
will look again.
Why, you lost your puff fighting that other
Very
fucker,
nice.
didn't you, brother?
Oh, we have a lot of loots in here.
Oh, yeah? How come you're still breathless after, eh? Which do you reckon is better to fight in, brother? High grass.
And we can't talk to them. But we can still loot the bandit's body. Ooh, nice. But I will not doing that. I will replay that again
You know what I like best in a
later.
Pray tell.
So for now, we just need to go to Radzik. Wait, Radzik. Father.
Greetings. What do you need?
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merliet.
Toth must have left some of his cronies behind.
And this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel, defend your honor. An ignominious wretch? Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
Surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, if I'm to know what I'm up against, I'll need to hear at least the gist of it.
True. All right, in a nutshell. Several years ago, I had to resolve a bloody feud between the Zuls and another family. The Zulus were clearly in the wrong, but refused to accept my ruling. So, I hanged the head of the family, razed their castle to the ground, and confiscated their property. Ever since then, they've had it in for me, not surprisingly.
But you acted in good conscience.
Yes, although in retrospect it might seem excessively harsh. And it doesn't help that the other family is related to mine.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long...
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslas's reign. He sent me to resolve a dispute between the Zulus and a neighboring house. It concerned land boundaries. The Zulus had refused to accept the ruling of the land court. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. So a decision was made in the royal court to take radical action against any dissent in the kingdom. Since the Zul family was defying the king, we were obliged to punish them. Harshly, as the circumstances demanded. The head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property confiscated.
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad? I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually sort themselves out. He promoted me to royal hetman, leaving him to pursue other interests. Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
What happened between...
That's...
Okay, just back choice.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
I'd like to ask something about this Sir Hagen.
Sure. God be with you.
Okay, let's finish our first patrol. So before I go back to that encampment, I will go to the bathhouse.
Yeah.
And it's already closed, so I will wait until morning.
God watch over you, good knight, especially in these dark times. Can I do something for you?
I'm interested in your services.
So what are you interested in?
I'd like a private bath for two.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. May the Lord watch...
Yeah.
Oh, new interesting site.
Henry, I want to have a word with you.
Okay. Before we go to the second mission,
Hey,
we
Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get
talk to
matey, eh?
them
Sure,
again.
Henry. What do you want to know?
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zool?
Zool? Huh. I'd rather keep that to myself. But since you're the only one who's interested in my opinion, I'll tell you. I reckon Radzig's making a big mistake. I might not be grown up yet, but I've walked in these shoes long enough to know that asking a mercenary to do something for nothing is stupid.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
Never mind. It's just a feeling I have. If Kuno heard me talking about it, he'd tan my hide.
All right, we'll drop it then.
Come here.
The town's full of doctors, so maybe that'll settle the Bearman's yearning for Brandenburg.
Oh no,
Henry,
conversation is
I want to
over.
have a word with you.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zool?
Arganzul? Who's that?
That robber baron who's been pillaging Sir Radzig's estate. Didn't Kuno tell you?
He did. But then he says a lot of things. Zul, Radzig, Sokol and Hinek of Kravan, Wenceslas, Sigismund. It all goes in one ear and out the other. What do I care? Ride somewhere, kill some fellas, have a drink, and go to sleep. If you're lucky, it won't rain while you're at it. That's all.
Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you.
Okay, so every day the activity will be different.
Stephan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zool?
I'd say you and Sir Radzig are very fortunate to have Kuno on the job. He's a master at handling such matters.
Is he? Why's that?
Dealing with bastards like Hag and Zool demands both courage and sharp wits. It's not a commonplace combination, but Kuno has both in abundance.
What's it about, Stephan?
Ah, Henry, the very man I wanted to see. I heard you got the ring from Dangler and gave it to the stone.
Maybe.
Let's not beat around the bush. I could use your help too. I think the stone has had the ring long enough, if you get what I'm saying.
I'll help you. I've got nothing else to do anyway.
I want to steal the ring from the stone while he's asleep, but that fella sleeps with one eye open. He needs a little help with sleeping soundly, and I've got a feeling you're the kind of man who knows how to arrange that kind of thing.
Sure. I'll bring you some sleeping potion.
Great. I knew I could count on you. And if you happen to come across that ring, all the better.
I've got that potion for you. A few drops in the stone's drink and he'll sleep
So
like
the
a
lullaby
baby.
potion is
I
for
hope
this.
not. Babies have a tendency to shut themselves and wake up screaming.
And also we can just pickpocket stone and get that ring before Stephan do.
Can you tell me something about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
That's a very tricky matter, I can tell you. Them Zuls are well known among us mercenaries. Hagen and his two brothers fought in the Margraviate Wars. That's quite a feather to have in your cap. But on the other hand, they've got their weaknesses.
Like what?
They're the ones who owe a pile of...
They still like to think of themselves as high and mighty lords. Kuno got over that, thank Christ. And he treats us all like equals.
You think Hagen's men have no great love for him?
Well, I'd say they're running before his whip more than following his flag, if you understand me.
Aye. I see what you're getting at.
It's a silver mining town and miners are hard as fucking nails.
Some of them might be tempted to go crushing heads for silver instead of ore.
Exactly. The town is full of Deutsches, so maybe that'll settle the Bearman's yearning for Brandenburg.
Oh, not again. Conversation is over. Okay, we already talked to Jan and Dangler. So this is stone. Stephan. Where is Peter? Okay, maybe he's going to patrol. And about that ring, we can just pickpocket stone, but make sure no one see us. Man, he's going.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
Well, I'm worried Kuno is underestimating Hagen. I was at the siege of Lansenbach with the both of them, so I know a thing or two about it. Hagen's got all these noble airs and graces. These knights that talk of honor and glory. Kuno reckons they're like lost lambs on the battlefield, and he's usually right. But that Hagen ain't no lamb. He's a cold-blooded killer, by all accounts.
Okay. So we already talked to everyone except Kuno. So I want to try to pickpocket stone to get that ring before we continue with the second patrol. Oh no, you don't have that ring. Yeah, no ring in here.
They're the ones who owe a pile of coin, and that's why they want to get out of Bohemia. Telling you, Chief.
That's because I'm already give the reliable potion.
We could do with 2 or 3 more.
Yeah. So I think it's done, already done. If you don't have lullaby potion, you can just pickpocket stone.
And replacements for the Bearmen.
That's why Kuttenberg makes sense. It's a silver mining town and miners are hard as fucking nails.
Some of them might be tempted to go crushing heads for silver instead of ore.
Exactly. The town is full of Deutsches, so maybe that'll settle the Bearman's yearning for Brandenburg.
I'd been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulls plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we run into him. I'd like to check out the big forest to the north, and then carry on via Ujits.
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry. Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll reach Ujits soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man on the cloth is a swill pot. Or a lecher. Or both.
Quiet. Listen.
For the love of God, help!
Please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls, you've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
You promised Sir Radzig you protect his fiefdom, and that means his subjects too.
Come on, it's not like their lives are in any real danger. Hagen's men just want a bit of fun.
A bit of fun? Are you fucking serious? You know very well, Kuno, how innocent girls can end up after a bit of fun with animals like that. Well, I, for one, am not going to sit back and let it happen, even if I have to creep in there myself and try to rescue them.
Oh, all right. It's not the smartest thing to do. But let's go and tackle those fuckers if that's how you want it.
Good. Thanks.
Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes. Let's go!
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff since last night. Cover that side for me.
It's all in the wrist, Dangler.
And best to take off your gauntlet first, so as not to do yourself an injury.
Still, It's always good to have your helmet well polished before battle.
Thanks for the invaluable advice, brothers.
I'll watch your right side then, yeah?
Thanks, Jakey.
Fuck. What's up, brother? Heart in your mouth.
Jesus, what the... Fuck!
It's a sign from God, Better. A foretaste of what we'll do with the liquid loot we take from the foe.
Shit. I wanted to charge them with a terrifying roar. There'll be no more wine flowing here. Now it's your blood that will stain the ground.
Dear God!
Okay. Is everyone alright? Oh no. Jackie. Oh, he's alive. Nice. As usual, we can just loot them. I will not do that. Let's check on them. Jackie, Dangler, Stephan, Bearman's brother, where is Stone? Okay, I see him still alive, so that's fine. Okay, so in here we can do some mini games. And Stephan will give us an items.
Up for a game?
Always. I've got some nice little items to wager. What do you say?
Well, that depends what you have.
I've got a shield, a jupon, and a very fine embroidered hat. The shield's got the Rickfald crest, a nice piece, handles well, and tough enough to take quite a battering. Then I've got this combat jupon. Not only does it look good, but it'll help keep your skin in one piece. And then there's this noble hat. It's not a lot of use on the battlefield, but if you want to look elegant around town, it'll certainly make a big impression on folk. And the girls will be fainting at your feet.
Okay, I think Jupon is better than shield and hat, but I will show you all of them in this video.
I could use that Jupon.
Alright, but what will you wager? You'll have to make it worth my while. After all, fine things like these
So
here
we
don't
can
just
get
grow
all
on
of
trees.
these items. So play with
This should be
Stephan
enough, right?
3
That'll
times
do me.
and
Let's
we
play.
got all of that.
So, bring it on.
Come and fight nicely. So
tales to run to Radzig with.
Curses, why did I even start this game?
Let me massage my knuckles a bit with your face, eh?
Ooh, almost.
By Christ. I've fallen your way and no mistake.
I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
This'll be the one.
We'll just have a friendly bout. No
That's it.
At least not much. Well then, reckon you take me on.
And we win.
Enough, I'm done with this.
Let me massage my knuckles a bit.
So we've got that Jupon. And then the shield. And the nobleman hat.
Think you can take me or not?
And also we can challenge Jan to fist
You want to have a
fighting.
scrap with me?
Scrap? That's putting it in vulgar terms. I want to challenge you to an honourable bout of combat. You've nothing better to do right now anyway.
All right. A little practice always helps.
My very words. Come on then. Bollocks.
Right, I never thought he had it in him.
That is stone. Okay, Jan, wake up. Is he dying? Yeah, looks like we can kill them. So to end this, let's sit in here.
I mean, brother, let them think what they like. Right, brother? You like me too, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course you do. I like you too.
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
That I have. I suppose you heard about the raising of Skalitz.
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there. But that's probably not the kind of story to go with wine and good cheer.
Have you seen Sasau Monastery?
I've seen it from the outside. A fine building. But at the pace they're going, it'll never be finished.
You could be right. Anyway, I've seen it from the inside.
Like, you were in the courtyard?
Like I was in the cloisters.
Good one. Only the monks are allowed in there.
Exactly.
Come on, Henry, I like a good story, but at least make it believable.
I swear to God. I had to get in there to find a fella who was hiding out amongst the monks.
I see, but they don't take, no offence, every idiot that comes along.
No. You have to be able to read and write, and speak Latin, and sing it, even. Yeah, or at least convince them you can.
You speak Latin?
Sure. Vasio sepo volam, qui plagam diligo solam.
I'm impressed. What does it mean?
Something about how you can't trust anyone. I don't know exactly.
You don't have to understand Latin to know that.
It comes in handy if you want to insult a priest, though.
Well, we have a scholar in our midst. And what's it like in the cloisters?
It's like time moves at a different pace there. You pretty much have to do the same thing day in, day out. Get up before dawn, pray in the chapel, eat with the brothers, then go and work in the gardens or the library.
I don't think I could handle that much excitement.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to, all right.
Tell us another.
Once I met a very peculiar character in Sasau. He was selling amulets, relics, and all sorts of supposedly miraculous junk.
Charlotte! You want to watch out for fellas like that.
Indeed. But this charlatan took me on as an apprentice.
The sorcerer's apprentice? You're having me on, right?
No, it wasn't like that. He just wanted me to, acquire some things for him. Nothing too difficult, so I did it.
What kind of things?
Like a tooth from St. Procopius, for instance?
What? Relics like that don't exactly grow on trees.
No, of course. So instead, we settled for a tooth from some labourer called Procopius.
So this fella was walking around with a mouthful of relics. How did it end up?
Well, in the end, the charlatan was driven out of town by an irate mob. I was lucky they didn't lynch me instead.
Nobody likes a swindler, that's for sure. Tell us another.
I was trying to track down these bandits who raided the Neuhof stud farm, and the trail led to Ujitz. I made the acquaintance of the parish priest there.
Oh, I've heard some stories about him. Apparently he's quite a character.
That's putting it mildly. But he does keep his word, and he sure knows how to drink.
A typical man of the cloth, eh?
I don't know about other priests, but Godwin can booze like a master. So we ended up in the local tavern. What can I tell you? Wine, women, and song, you know how it goes. Well, we lost track of time a little, and then the bailiff came barging in and tells us it's past curfew and we're to clear out.
Was he on his own?
No, he had some men with him. I'm not sure how many. It's all a little blurry. Anyway, we explained to him politely that we had no intention of ending our enjoyment. So, after a bit of discussion with the bailiff, we carried on. Next morning, Godwin was as green as a frog and hardly able to walk. And then he realised he had to say mass.
That's a show I'd like to see.
Well, he couldn't do it. So he got me to preach the sermon.
You? Preaching? You're joking.
Well, I did my best. Of course, I wasn't in great shape myself, so I'm not sure what the flock made of it.
My word, you're a dark horse. A nice story, but let's just drink.
Okay, so we are in here and drunk. So I will go to bathhouse.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
I'd like to order something here.
And what is it you'd like?
I've heard you have nice girls here.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay, no
Hey,
other
Henry,
dialogues.
I'd like a word with you.
Let me guess. It's about that ring?
Yeah. You gave it to Fletch, right?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I had my eye on it. Any idea where he put it? He definitely ain't got it on him.
Sorry, not a clue.
Look here. If you could get it back from him and bring it to me, I'll give you something for your trouble.
Sounds fair enough.
Okay, now we need to find that key. I mean that ring.
I'm looking for the ring, but Stephan has hidden it somewhere. Any idea where it might be?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you know something. Where he hid it. Birds? Something to do with birds?
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me any more than that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, thank you, Stone. Wayfarer.
God save. What can I do for you? Take care.
Bearman starts with a pregnant woman. Know any Latin insults? De fute futueo et cabalum tuum? What's it mean? Horse, that's fucking good. You're priceless, you are.
Just a little chit chat in there.
I'm looking for that ring. Stephan has it hidden away somewhere. Know anything about it?
Christ, you haven't had enough. No, I don't know anything.
Enough of what?
Chasing around after that trinket. It's just as well you took it from me, though. Don't need any extra temptation to get drunk.
Thanks anyway.
Okay.
I'm looking for that ring for your brother. Stephan had it last, but he hid it somewhere. Any idea where it might be?
No doubt he wants to keep it safe from drunken bastards like my brother.
Well, takes one to know one. Any idea where he might have put it?
Me? No, not a clue.
Okay, nothing. This is Stone. Jan. Where is Jackie? Okay, I want to talk to Kuno maybe.
I'm looking for the ring of Bacchus. Fletching is supposed to have it, but he's hidden it.
You won't have it easy, then. Fletch is as tricky as they come.
Jackie's not in here. Where is he anyway? Okay, let's talk to Stephan.
I want that ring. I believe you still have it?
First he brings me the ring, then he wants it back.
Well, those are the rules of the game, right?
True enough, only I did the sensible thing and hid it carefully. It's not so much about the free booze. I'm just a competitive bastard by nature. But just to make things interesting, here's a wee clue for you. Find the dead standing among the living and turn your eyes heavenwards.
What is that? Don't have a clue. Something about bird. Let's see if there is another dialogues. Nothing. Oh, this is Jackie.
Relieve me.
He's asleep.
I'm looking for the ring. That tricky bastard Stephan has hidden it somewhere.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
What don't you know?
Where he put it? I don't know.
Jakey, I never even asked you if you knew where he put it, and you're already trying to wriggle out of answering. You know something.
But I promised Fletch I wouldn't tell anyone. He's the only one here who treats me right, and I want to keep it that way.
He's not the only one who treats you well. So do I. Don't you want to keep on my good side too? I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's right-hand man. It'd be smart to get into my good books.
Ah, I suppose so. Maybe it'd come in useful for me one day.
There you are then. So, where did he hide it?
It's in a nest.
Aha. What nest?
A kestrel's, I think.
Aha. I think you know what I mean.
Well, if you climb on top of that hillock in the camp and look more or less north, you'll see a kind of half-dead tree. And it's on that.
A tricky bugger. Thanks.
Okay, so the ring is in the north and a dead tree. I think this is it, and it's a nest in there. That's it. The answer is in Jackie. Now let's give him to Jan.
Bearman starts with a pregnant woman.
So what do you think about recruiting some more men?
Okay, that same dialogues. So I will interfere.
I've got the ring.
And replacements for the
Kuno won't know what hit him. I'll drink the alehouse dry just to get my money's worth. Here, have a drink yourself, on me.
Thanks. Enjoy.
The town is full of Deutsches, so maybe that'll settle the Bearman's yearning for Brandenburg.
Nice, and we've got Grosjean. So now we can just go to our patrol, the third patrol, but I will continue this in the part 2, and we will finish the Band of Bastard DLC in part 2. So see you next time.